The 8th race of the AmBridge Racing Series 2015 season would be at Darlington for the ArmorAll 200. The AAA pole this week goes to Casey Lester, who's on a bit of a dry spell in this series right now. Hasn't had that good of a season. Honestly, it's going to be pretty hard to follow up the season he had in his rookie year last year, but he starts on the pole at Darlington. Mike Oppenheimer's had a great season, starts second. Kenny Gerald's third. Will Legge fourth. And I believe that was Chad Lipinski in fifth. Yes, it was. As they head down the back straightaway, Lester clearing Gerald's, but gets past right here. So we'd like to take a look at the new points leader, Mac DeCaria, who's looking to make it back-to-back championship titles here in the AARS. And he's currently passing our pole sitter right now up in the top 5. Here's Kenny Gerald, who just got the lead, and he has a rear full of Mike Oppenheimer, who's going to look to the inside right here maybe, and does not pull it off. Alan Reeds ran very strong here last year, finishing second to Sean Glossum in the 09 car back then. And Reeds started way in the back. He had high hopes for this one, and I would not be surprised to see him up in the front of the field as we're taking a look at last year's winner here, Sean Glossum, who has changed drives into the 9 car. Had a very strong first few weeks, and he has fallen off ever since so far. Taking a look back up front, Mike Oppenheimer is your leader as he passed Kenny Gerald, who is just way out of the picture now, stuck on that outside lane, maybe touched the wall there in the back. We have Chad Lipinski in second, and Josh Mertz, who got his first career win at McKinley last week, running in the 3rd position. And here they go underneath Oppenheimer on lap number 13 as Lipinski quickly takes that lead away from the STP Dodge. Lipinski, he has had a mediocre season so far. He had a terrible season last year, and he's looking to gain that success he had in his rookie season right back as he leads 1 lap and gets passed by Mertz here. Again, Mertz going for that 2nd win in a row, and the number 8 car definitely looking very strong in the past couple races here. Tori Webler is making his debut in the number 47 for Webler Motorsports, the only one of the 2 Webler cars to make this race. He is running 3rd in his debut. What a great sign of things to come for Tori Webler, as that guy came out of nowhere basically last week at McKinley. He decided to enter a car, and he decided to keep it up for this season, and hopefully we see him up in these races some more as he's having a great run as we continue to look at Mac DeCaria, who has taken the lead from Mertz, who has fallen way back now, and he has Luke Kinzen and Todd Bradshaw all over him as Kinzen looks to the inside now of the 96 car and will take that spot away. So Luke Kinzen in the A&W Pontiac will take the lead, and Skulls Racing finally has one of their guys running well. Here we go on lap 21. It looks like Todd Kinzen is going to get turned hard to the inside wall. Up the racetrack he goes and collects Cody Lochner, Mario Lancer, Jeff Parshall, among others, in turn number 3. Let's take a look at this one. Casey Anderson hooks him hard into the inside wall, back end, and comes up the track. Cody Lochner nowhere to go, neither does Mario Lancer, and it looks like Parshall, Lochner, Lancer, and Kinzen are the only 4 that are going to be involved in this one. We're going to go on board Mario Lancer here. As you see, he slides up the track. Cody Lochner involved, and then he just has nowhere to go. So the Toyota is done once again here this season as the field comes down into the pits under this caution flag period, and the 4 gets out basically in the same order that they were, but Luke Kinzen definitely surprising the field right now, running in the top spot here at Darlington as he takes the green, and they go down into turn number 1. Herb Cilantro has made his way up to 3rd. He's always a threat to win these things, although he hasn't in a while, so we'll see if he can do anything, but looks like Luke Kinzen gets out to a pretty good lead off turn number 2 and will pace the field some more as they're basically single file behind him. Cilantro, though, gets shuffled to the outside, and he's going to fall back, and Cilantro's just had a very tough season. He's still led the most laps of any driver so far this year, and that's pretty typical for Cilantro. I don't know if there's any time in the last 3 seasons where he hasn't been leading the lap sled counter at this point in the season, as we see Todd Bradshaw trying to take the lead from Kinzen, but we're looking at Jared Cash in the 09 trying to bring that car back to victory lane here at Darlington, and he's currently running in the top 10. Herb Cilantro and Grant Jacobs are going to make a little bit of contact, and these guys go 3 wide. Don't know if that's going to work. Cilantro into the 40, a little bit up the track he goes, and we're going to have another yellow. Casey Lester also swept up in this as well, and they come down the track. Carson Crompton with a big hit, and we got a mess on the front stretch as these 3 continue to get going As we're taking a look at Grant Jacobs now, Alan Reed's nowhere to go. He's just a innocent victim in this one. Like Brad Curtis and Carson Crompton get involved as well, and I believe Jeff Parshall in the 46 got a piece of it as well, being his second wreck already. Parshall living up to his reputation, as Ricardo Blanco was also involved. I saw him go around, as these guys all with nowhere to go, as these guys just came down the racetrack. And Carson Crompton, that's a tough break for him. He's been having a good year. Brad Curtis in the 12 swept up in this, and there's Jeff Parshall getting in contact as well, as we see Luke Kinzen is coming down to the pits. He leads only a select few of cars who come in, and this is going to affect pit strategy. We see the 2 JN cars in there, as Jonathan Ringer on lap 38 will lead the field down to the green. Jared Cash in second, Todd Bradshaw running third, as the 0 car continues to go around this racetrack. Ringer had a great end to last season, but he has not really had the best of years so far in 2015, as we see the 83 of Nate Smith, our Delaware winner, who's starting to come into his own, starting to look like his form that he did last year. He is running in second now, and he'll look for the lead on lap 46. So great run for Nate Smith here. Very dangerous to see him up at the front of the field for these past couple of races. It wouldn't surprise me whatsoever to see him contending for this championship once again. But Jonathan Ringer once again looking to the inside of the 83, as the field has mostly caught up. We see Nick Black and Jalen Scranton battling for the third position, and maybe even second, as the 83 is going to fall back a little bit. Jerry Richardson is a giant surprise back in sixth. Let's take a look at him. He's having a great run. He's been the only consistent unnamed team driver for the past couple of years, and it's great to see him finally put it all together here at Darlington and have a nice run. Richardson, it's been 4 years since he's been to victory lane. That team is in desperate need of a good run, and this may be it here at Darlington. Maybe Richardson can pull out a miracle win here at Darlington, but I'm sure they'd be perfectly fine with a 4th place finish if that's where they end up placing, as Nick Black takes the lead on lap 52 in the number 38. I see Richardson right there going for third. Justin Pisani in that special scheme running second, as these guys continue to battle it out here at Darlington. As a caution, as Luke Kinzen gets spun on the back straightaway, and the 4 car comes to rest and will continue on. No real damage done there. The 20 car really gave him no room off the corner. Wouldn't really say whose fault that was. Hard to tell from that angle, but the 4 car will go around. He's had a great car here at Darlington tonight, and that's not going to help him in the slightest, as the field comes down into the pits, led by Nick Black, Justin Pisani, and Jerry Richardson, who will all come in for service. Coming out of the pits, it looks like Black's going to take the lead. Nate Smith's pit crew has been very excellent so far this season, and he will come out in second, picking up a couple spots there. Nate Smith's pit crew, they've definitely been the MVP in terms of pit crews this season, as the 2 teammates get out to a giant lead after Ricardo Blanco is going to hold up the field. That's typical for Ricardo Blanco. He's done that several times over his career. Casey Lester also having a part of this as well. Those 2 cars very slow, and looks like Pisani and Scranton are finally going to get around them in turn number 4. But a tough break for them, as they are now way behind, as we see some 3-wide action. Teammates get together, Blanco and Ringer down into Torrey Webler, and it looks like we're going to have a mess behind them. Jates to the inside on the apron, slides up the track 3 wide. Will they be able to hold this? We don't think so, considering in the past not really anybody has held it, but they do. And Alex Jates is going to benefit from this, getting around the slow car of Lester, and he will begin his pursuit on the top 5 cars, as we see these 2 have pulled away, and they continue to pass each other, which I don't know why, because this is slowing them down. This is slowing them down, and they're letting Justin Pisani and Jalen Scranton catch right up, and this is not good for them as they continue to go inside of each other. This is letting those 2 catch up, and if I was out front 1-2 like that, I wouldn't be passing each other. I'd be staying right behind, glued to the back bumper, and pulling away still, because they were the fastest cars on the track, and they get held up here by lap traffic, so this doesn't help them either. And Pisani and Scranton have now caught up, and Nick Black has trouble with Ricardo Blanco here. These four look like they're going to get under him on the inside, but this allows Justin Pisani to catch and take the lead from Nick Black. Black's going to fall all the way to 4th, it looks like, but new leader Justin Pisani on lap 73, and we'll see if he can pull out the win here. Still looking for that second career win. The Livonia AAA shootout winner. Still looking for that second career win. Won 2 championships, though. It's a pretty crazy stat. As we see Nate Smith going back to the lead, they're catching Alan Reeds now, who is a lap car, along with Casey Lester again, as Nate Smith clears the 16, takes his teammate with him, and then they get held up by these 2 slow cars. And this is going to maybe put Nate Smith in a bad position. Yes, it does. Smith will fall back to 4th, and it looks like these guys continue to battle. It looks like he will move up back into the lead, and Justin Pisani will take that spot once again right back. Just a lot of lead shuffling right now in this middle portion of the race between the top 4, and Justin Pisani is going to take the lead right now, but it looks like right away it's going to be Nick Black looking underneath. So, yeah, these guys are the class of the field tonight, and definitely showing as here comes Pisani once again on lap 88, taking the lead once again, and using the lap car once again to his advantage. As we see, Ricardo Blanco is getting put down another lap, and Grant Jacobs, haven't really talked about him much at all the past couple seasons, not having a good run again. So tough break for Comerica Simmons Racing, as we see another caution on lap 100 for debris will fly. That's our 4th yellow of the night, and the pace car will gather the field in turn number 2. And the pits, it looks like Nick Black is going to retake the lead, gets out in front of both Smith and Pisani. Pisani looks like he'll be in 2nd. Oh, maybe Smith sped up or something there. But these 2, once again, Smith and Black, 1-2 once again out of the pits, and on lap 104 they would restart 1-2. Grant Jacobs and Alan Reeds to their inside. The top 4 break away from the rest of the lead lap cars, and these guys once again have defined themselves as the class of the field. No one can really challenge them right now. No one can catch them, and the lap cars are definitely not helping. And Justin Pisani may have fallen back a little bit there as Jerry Richardson has moved into 4th. Pisani maybe hit the wall or something, as he's way back there in about 7th or 8th. Tough break for him, whatever happened to him. Lap 118, we see Jalen Scranton getting a sniff of the lead. He's been lurking there in 3rd and 4th. Hasn't really contested the leaders, and he will now do that in the 26 car. 38 of Nick Black is all over him, and maybe looking to the inside. No, he won't. He'll get passed by his teammate Nate Smith, who's going to make a little bit of contact with Jalen Scranton and take the lead for himself. Looks like Scranton and Black make a little bit of contact underneath Casey Lester. That would have been pretty bad for them, as we see Nick Black once again taking the lead from his teammate, using Ricardo Blanco as a pick once again. And it looks like Jalen Scranton is now going to take the lead. So lots of lead changes here at Darlington, and Scranton is going to take it this time off turn number 4 with no picks involved. And these 3 continue to pull away from the rest of the field. Smith going for 2nd. Here we go again, using lap cars as picks. Nate Smith to the inside of the 87, and will take the lead. So once again, lap cars being a pretty big stake in the outcome here at Darlington. And on lap 137, Jalen Scranton goes back to the lead. Here we go. We're going to take a look through the top 5 here, as Kenny Geralds and Tommy Richer are 4th and 5th. Haven't really talked about anyone outside of the top 3. As you see the yellow flag waving, let's see what it's for this time. Luke Kinson, a carbon copy of his spin earlier, and he's going to collect Jimmy Cohon in the 36 as well. Tough break for him, who's battling in the points contending in the point standings. So very tough break for Jimmy Cohon, and tough break for Luke Kinson as well, who probably deserved a better finish than he is going to get here at Darlington. Cohon definitely got the worst of this one though, and he will continue on though. Jalen Scranton once again leading on lap 143, expected to be the last restart of this one. 148 laps in the running of this one, and Jalen Scranton off to a healthy lead to start. Nick Black was shuffled in the running order due to running out of fuel, and he would restart all the way in the back of the field. As you see, he's trying to work on the lap car of Jeff Partial. Single file restart to end this one. because it's under 10 laps to go. Jalen Scranton continuing to hold off Smith, and Kenny Gerald, who has made his way into third. Chad Lipinski, he is going to come down into the pits. He runs out of gas, much like Nick Black. Here's Justin Bazzani in the 16, getting contact from Jared Cash in the 09, and they're going to spin up the racetrack into Brad Curtis. And there would be no yellow for this, as those three would continue on at almost the minimum speed. The 0 car of Jonathan Ringer is going to make a move to avoid Brad Curtis, or the 10 of Brian Hensler, excuse me. And on the inside, we go 5 wide with him, Nick Black, and the 44 of Ross Lowry. Up the racetrack they go, and it's going to create a mess up in turn number 4 as Jonathan Ringer, Ricardo Blanco, and Jeff Parshall all get involved in a wreck. Parshall, his 3rd wreck involved in tonight. So a weird just situation as Jalen Scranton takes the white flag and will take the win. And a crazy ending to this one. Unfortunately, will end under yellow, but Jalen Scranton is going to win his 5th career race. He wins the ArmorAll 200 at Darlington. Congratulations to the 26 team. His teammate, following the pace car, he ran out of gas, remember, and I don't know what that was about. But Jalen Scranton is your winner at Darlington. So Jalen Scranton gets his first win of the season. Kenny Gerald's following in second. Jalen Scranton, it's worth noting, he started in the 40th position, so a great run from him. That's quite impressive to come back from the 40th spot to win, especially here at Darlington. Tommy Richard finishes 3rd. He started 38th. That's also very impressive. Todd Bradshaw finishes 4th. He will take the point lead. Nate Smith ends up finishing 5th. I would say that's pretty disappointing considering he was a top 2, top 3 car. Mike Oppenheimer, another solid run for him. He finishes 6th. Tim Averill finishes 7th. He was very quiet all race. Jerry Richson, a fantastic run from him. He finishes 8th. That's got to be a great boost of confidence for that team. Mac DeCario finishes 9th. And Michael Carter, another solid run for that team. He finishes in the 10th position. On to the point standings. Todd Bradshaw, like I mentioned before, is your new point leader, up by 16 points over Mac DeCario. Mike Oppenheimer sits 3rd in one less race, I should mention. Alex Jates 4th. Michael Carter has worked his way up into 5th. A great rebound season for him. Jalen Scranton 6th after his win. Sean Glossom has fallen all the way back to 7th after leading the points after the first couple of races. Jimmy Cohon falls to 8th. Justin Bazzani stays in 9th, and Tim Averill has worked his way back up into the top 10. So a great event here at Darlington. Fantastic race all around, just like last season. And next race, we're going to head to Miami. Once again, should be a very exciting race. Remember last year there was lots of controversy with that. Not only the race, but the track. And we'll see what happens there. So stay tuned for more AARS racing in the 2015 season.